What's up guys, Zac Perna here and welcome back to my series on teenage bodybuilding, and today's video is going to be all about supplements. So I'll talk through basically what supplements are, which ones you should look into, and which ones are a complete waste of money. Let's do it. Alright guys, so firstly I'll just talk through what they are essentially, so the pros of supplements, what they're doing. I'll explain them all the ones I'm using, and then also I'll talk about which ones basically you don't need or are kind of optional. A lot of people out there think that supplements are going to make this huge, massive difference. So basically I think it's pretty fitting to start the video off saying that, guys, if your training and nutrition isn't on point, you're wasting your time with supplements. I mean, it'll give you that extra benefit, but if you're not looking after anything else, then you're wasting your money. So provided your training and nutrition's on point, supplements are pretty beneficial and they can help you out, but they're not a magic pill and they're not going to give you these crazy gains that you might think, because I've been there, I thought they were crazy, and now I can see in hindsight what they're really doing. And they're helping, but it is just that little bit. So we'll start off with whey protein. You guys are probably familiar with whey. Whey is just a really good source of protein from dairy. So it's complete protein, meaning it's got a lot of the amino acids, so it's pretty perfect. And where you'll see differences is in the quality and the rate of absorption, really. So Isopept here is a post-workout protein. So it's really fast digesting, really good for post-workout. And then you've got a whey blend like Oxy Whey, which is just an all-in-one good general daytime protein, fast and slow digesting. So if you guys were to choose between one of these, Oxy Whey is just a really good all-rounder. You have it with meals. Isopept is my favorite because it tastes great, and I really use it post-workout. So Isopept's my favorite supplement. If you guys are gonna get anything, I would get a good quality protein powder. And that is the one, if you're gonna get that. Next, BCAAs. BCAAs are amino acids, so think of them as making up protein powder. Essentially, they're making up proteins. They're really good. I think they're good for cutting because they can help you hold on to muscle tissue. But there is a little bit of controversy around aminos, like branched chains now, because some research says otherwise. Is it really worth it? So I think if you're only gonna get one thing, probably don't get amino acids, get a protein instead. But if you think I wanna get a good stack, I wanna leave no stone unturned, I wanna try it, I'm sick of drinking water, then give BCAAs a shot and see if you notice anything with your recovery or your muscle retention. But it's hard because you don't really feel it. It's one of those things where you don't really know if it's working, you just kind of hope. So BCAAs are a tough one, but I still like to use them. I still like to use them when I'm dieting. Next up is creatine. Creatine is really good, it's proven. It draws water into the muscle cell and it makes it hydrated and better for growth. So your strength will go up with creatine. I'd really highly recommend that too, and it's cheap as shit. You guys this will last you ages. What's this? This is 500 grams and you only need 5 grams a day. So creatine, definitely. Isopept or any other good quality whey, yes. Next is kind of where we get into the optional stuff. So glutamine, I reckon glutamine's great. It's good for your gut health, and pretty good for recovery too. Only issue is you need to take a lot of it because your gut will take a lot. So if you have all the money in the world, grab some glutamine by all means. But if you're on a budget, you're young, you need something that's gonna help your recovery, I'd probably just get a whey protein instead. But it's one of those things as well, you don't really know if it's working. It's hard because you can't feel it. So if the guy in your sub shop's trying to stitch you up and says, get this glutamine, it'll make you like Phil Heath, probably don't listen to him. But it is a good supplement, but it is not 100% necessary. With the pre-workouts, now I really like a pre-workout, I always have. I think they give you good energy to get into the gym, it makes you pumped up, you're pretty euphoric, but it's not gonna make or break your session really, and you shouldn't really become reliant on them. So let's say RP Max, this is EHP Labs stimulant pre-workout, really good. It'll get you amped up and buzzing to get in the gym, but it is optional. It's not gonna increase your strength like crazy. I'll lift the same amounts with or without pre. Can make you feel pretty energized, but it is all mental. So as long as you guys know that it's mental and it's not some special concoction that's gonna make you lift through the walls, then that's fine. But I really like it. I definitely take it every day. If you're gonna cycle on and off pre-workouts, you wanna have about 4 weeks on and 2 to 4 weeks off. This is just so you don't get used to it, because you will get used to it and you'll feel like you need to keep up in the dose. And then before you know it, you'll be resorting to cocaine before you work out, which is what Hafiy does, and I don't recommend it, guys. Next is PSI. I really love PSI. This is a non-stimulant pre-workout. So again, this is dealing with the optional stuff, guys. So I know it's probably, I'm yelling a lot of sups at you right now, but I like this because it's optional. It gives you added pumps, basically. So If you train late at night and you guys don't want a pre-workout that keeps you awake, look for a non-stimulant pre-workout like that. Really good muscle pumps, enhances blood flow, but it isn't 100% necessary, it is optional. I'll talk a little, don't forget about OxyShred. OxyShred is a fat burner. There's a lot of hype around fat burners, but unfortunately in today's market, they can't put anything crazy in it. That's not gonna get you absolutely shredded. What it will do is give you energy that'll facilitate your diet, your training, everything like that. And it's got some natural fat burners in there too. Whether or not they make a giant difference, I'm talking fat burners in general, whether or not they make a giant difference on your fat loss, I personally don't think so. It's not like it's just liquid fat burner. It'll help you and it'll indirectly burn fat. I really love OxyShred. It makes me feel great. It suppresses my appetite. So as a result, I feel better while eating less. So it really works hand in hand with the diet, but it isn't one or another. You can't just eat like a dickhead and then have OxyShred and expect to get shredded. It just won't work. But as long as you guys know that, so they're facilitating your diet and your training. That's where they're really good. Now I'll talk a little bit about what I think are a waste of money and what I think you guys should avoid. Because it's so easy to get sucked in to supplements, especially when you're younger, because you think that they're these magical things. But you guys need to know that you can get results just by eating well and training. And when I say can, I mean you will. It's just what happens. And people try to suck you in along the way. So I would say avoid anything to do with hormones. When like testosterone boosters, growth hormone, whatever they are, they market them like crazy. And it might sound like pretty good. It might seem too good to be true, and it probably is. Your hormones are in a good state right now. You guys are young, you're pretty primed for muscle growth and fat loss, so you shouldn't really be messing with anything like that. And if you do, you might make it a little bit worse for yourself in the long run. So stay away from that, guys. That is a waste of money. Any weight gainers. Now, I think these have their place. If you're really, really skinny and you can't put on any weight, you might need to resort to drinking your calories. But if you're not, when I was younger, I wasn't very skinny. I was like average build, I put on fat easy. I had weight gainers because I thought it'd put on muscle quicker, and all it did was make me really, really fat. So stay away from weight gainers if you can, and just aim to get it through your food, and then have a good whey protein that you can have throughout the day or after a workout. And basically anything that says online that will give you these crazy results and it seems like a fad, don't buy into it. I remember I bought CLA back in the day because I saw the ads for it and it had these crazy before and afters, and I thought this looks like steroids, this must be crazy. And I bought CLA, for those who don't know, I think it's just a fatty acid, so it's just a fat. I bought that and it did absolutely nothing for me. I got sucked in, and it happens to the best of us, but yeah, don't get sucked into whatever you see online. If it looks like a scam, it probably is. There's nothing nowadays that they can put in that's gonna make or break you. It's just marketing, really. Like, I use all of these supplements every single day. Probably not glutamine, if I'm honest, because I just forget. But I use these all the time and I really like them. I'll show you as well. It's good to get a good multivitamin too. Multivitamins and fish oils, as long as you get good brands and they're good quality, you can't go wrong with that. But again, is that gonna make or break your gains? Probably not. And I prefer you guys to get it through your food. So try, nail your food, nail your training. One thing I will show you is a carb powder. I get a lot of questions on this, and I think it's pretty beneficial too. Here we have some carb powder, just carbohydrates. Very beneficial. So I know I said before with the weight gainers how you want to eat, get the calories from food, definitely. But this is mainly just for workout nutrition. If you get a $30 bag of maltodextrin, it'll be about 5 kilos and last you ages. So that's a really cheap carb, and it generally sits well with you. If you need to have 100 grams in a workout, which is pretty unrealistic, it'll probably bloat you, and you might want to get a more advanced carb like a cyclic dextrin, cluster dextrin here. That's a bit more expensive, I'm just trying it out, but I have maltodextrin and it works fine with me. So carbs are good to have just around the workout period. So think pre-workout, mix some carbs in with your pre if you want. Intra-workout is what I like during the workout, mix it with your aminos, or post-workout, mix it with your shake if you can't get access to food. But really, if you're having carbs during the workout, you don't need to have any pre or post. That's pretty crucial. And it is just an easy way of getting them in, makes your workouts a little bit better, and it's so cheap that you'll know it's doing something, and it's only 30 bucks. So in summary, guys, if you just want to get 1 or 2 things, I would really recommend a good quality whey protein and creatine. Creatine. You can't go wrong with these, guys. You can get your protein through your food, but I still value a fast digesting protein powder like Isopet post-workout or hydrolyzed protein. And creatine, again, really good. There is traces in meat, but you're probably gonna eat a shitload to get it. And it just lasts you ages, so it's really cheap too. Otherwise, the rest are kind of optional. You guys, if you have, depending on your budget and how much you can afford, then that'll be the decision maker on which ones you get. But by all means, try them out. These are the ones I stand by, I really like them. But if you have your own brands, you like the taste, they work well for you, then just stick to it. But otherwise, that is it for me, guys. I hope I made it a little bit clearer for you. If I didn't, just put your questions in the comments. And you guys know what to do. First, subscribe to my channel and stay massive.
All these sexy jeans in my section and slide into your DMs in the PM and the AM. Then I slide into your feelings when you see just what I'm saying.